to shut up and shoot.
Hi, here we go. Mad Tech Industries, the official Cerakoter for Therapy Range.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Therapy Range. Today, we're going to have a quick conversation about what to expect when you order a firearm online and get it shipped to your local FFL. Some of the do's and don'ts, pros and cons. Let's get into this. We ain't going to waste a whole lot of time. I like keeping the content short, sweet, straight to the point. You don't have time to listen to me run on and on and on. Or maybe you do. I am your therapist, so, there's that. Okay, so I've came up with essentially about 5 bullet points that you should really take to heart when you go to order a firearm online and have it transferred to your local FFL. Now, this is going to start at the FFL, not on the online purchases. That's going to be up to you. You order what you want, pay for it how you want to pay for it, get it shipped to the FFL that you want to get it shipped to. But contrary to what the leftist nut bars would like to have you believe, you do in fact have to send firearms that, at least if you order them from a federal firearms vendor, you have to do a background check when that gun comes. It has to be shipped to a federal firearms license. Like if you buy it from Palmetto State or any of the other accredited websites out there that sell firearms, they don't just mail guns out all willy-nilly. It has to go to an FFL, a federal firearms license holder, and then you have to go there to do the background check. You can't just order guns online. I mean, I guess there might be some websites out there that will allow that kind of stuff, but I don't happen to know who any of them are. I don't search out that kind of thing because I don't have a problem doing a 4473. Don't care. All right, so bullet point number 1, a good attitude carries you a long way. If you watch the video I made about the gun show's do's and don'ts, a good attitude carries you a long way. You show up to your FFL barking out orders, demanding, being an asshole, you're going to get your gun, but it may not be an enjoyable process. Let's make it fun for everybody. Let's face it, the guys at the gun store, they're just there to make a paycheck, okay? They will help you if they can, but at the end of the day, they're just there to make a paycheck. Unless you're dealing directly with the owner, they're not going to care probably as much as you would expect them to, because it's not their place. Why would they? They're just there for a paycheck. So a good attitude is going to help out a ton. When you go to the FFL, don't just walk in and say, hey, I'm John Brown. I'm here to pick up my gun that I ordered. Okay, I have no clue what you're talking about. We get deliveries here every day. In our office, we have 35 packages in there, and not a single one of them have a person's name on them. Okay, when you order from Bud's Guns or Palmetto State or whatever online site that you ordered from, whether it's an auction or just a buy it now kind of thing, it doesn't matter. When those sellers ship, it is a general rule of thumb, especially in the predominantly in the firearms world, to not put the purchaser's name on the package. It's just addressed to the name of the business that it's going to. I happen to work at a place called 68 Bait and Tackle. So when our boxes get shipped in, when people have their transfers sent to us, it doesn't say Bill Joe or Tommy Lee or whoever the hell made the purchase on the box. It just says 68 Bait and Tackle. And, I bought it from, well, we're back to there again because it's a firearm, and leftists work at FedEx and UPS and the USPS. They tend to leave the boxes as unmarked as possible. All right, so Bud's Guns is actually one of the few FFLs that do ship with their name on the box. On the return address, it'll say Bud's Guns on it. But Palmetto State does not. On theirs, it has shipping department, something South Carolina. I know what that is now because I've seen that return address enough times that I know that that's a Palmetto State box. But I've got 7 of them sitting here. Which one is yours? You have to bring your tracking number with you, is what I'm driving at. So when you make your purchase and you select your FFL and you complete your checkout process and you're all done, when that company ships that firearm, they're going to send you an email that's going to have your unique tracking number for that package. You need that. Don't delete that email. You need that tracking number. All right. Not so much to track the package, which you probably want to do that too, because it behooves you to watch that tracking number and to know when your firearms dropped off. I get calls at the store every day. Yeah, I was calling to see if my gun's in there yet. What's the tracking number? Oh, I don't know. I don't have a tracking number. My name is blah, 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 and I bought it from blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and it's really hard to explain this to people without coming off condescending, like kind of like I am now.
How in the world can you possibly say you support Therapy Range if you ain't checked out our gun deals link yet? Get to it.
Sorry, buddy. They don't put names on the boxes. It's just addresses. There's no information on the box that will help me identify which box is yours unless you have the tracking number. If you've got the tracking number, I can go right in, go through the boxes. Boom, there's yours. Let's get your 4473 started. Calling the shop and asking if your gun is there with no tracking number is pointless. And if you have the tracking number, there's no point in calling the shop. Just go to USPS or UPS or FedEx.com and type in your tracking number, and it'll tell you whether it's been delivered or not. And if it hasn't, it'll tell you exactly where your firearm is in the process of getting to the FFL. That's probably should have been number 1 on the bullet points, to have your tracking number, because that seems to be like a seriously important thing that people completely underestimate the value of what the tracking number can provide for you. Once you pick up your firearm, you're going to have to do your 4473, and they'll call in your background check. I know here in Ohio, if you have a concealed carry permit, they don't have to call your background check in here in Ohio. Just getting a copy of your concealed carry permit and putting some information from that permit on your 4473 is good enough for Ohio. Don't know how that is in other places, but it's time to pay for your transfer. Pretty much all of the gun stores out there charge anywhere from $10 to $25 to process your background check for you. It's a pretty common thing. It's not new. It's not exorbitant. You know, I mean, if you start seeing transfer fees over $30, I would look to send my firearm to a different FFL. Generally, it's between $10 and $25, with more places being in that $25 range than in the 10. I do know that a couple of the shops that have recently opened that are doing their transfers for $10, but that's just to get people to start sending their transfers to them. Eventually, those prices will go up. But pay your transfer fee in cash. Don't go in there and put a credit card on them. Don't put a debit card on them. Here's why.
My buddy Dear Sarge, Cav Cop, and Always Survive are looking for more subscribers for their channels. They're providing good content. You should go check them out. It's worth the effort.
3.5% right off the top, plus a service charge for every time they swipe that card. So your fee is, let's say you went into a new shop and they gave you a $10 fee. 3.5% of that plus a fixed rate gets taken out of that. So, I mean, that FFL literally made less than $7 for doing your transfer if they charge 10. If they charge 25, they made better than 10, but they're still not getting the full $25. They're not getting that. Do you support that FFL? Do you want that FFL to stay in business for a long time so you can continue to keep going and getting your supplies and your shooting needs? Then support the FFL by paying them with cash instead of putting plastic on them and making them eat the fees. And not only do they not have to pay fees with cash, they get it right now. All right. When you swipe that card, they have to wait 3 to 5 business days, 5 to 7 business days with some card companies, but a minimum of 3 to 5 business days they have to wait for that. If this is a small shop, their working capital is limited. They need that money. They need every dollar that they make right when they make it. They can't really be. I mean, some of them can. Some of your larger, more well-established stores can wait. But the young guys, the new stores, the small places, they need that money right now. They can't, they have to, but they can't really afford to wait 3 to 5 days. If they can have that money right now, that's going to be way more beneficial for them than waiting for it for nearly a week or longer. You know, if you like this FFL, create a relationship with them. Make friends with these guys. If you make friends with these FFLs, you might find yourself in a situation where your transfer fees get waived. Buy something while you're at the shop. You know, you get a gun sent in, go over and pick up 4 or 5 boxes of ammo and spend more than what the transfer fee is going to be. I can't tell you how many times I've been in gun stores and seen the owners waive the transfer fees because you bought a bunch of ammo or you got some accessories, or you bought something completely different. While you were in there, you picked up this or that or whatever, and you end up spending 45, 50, $100, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what, don't worry about that transfer fee, man. You had a good attitude. You came in here, you talked to us, you laughed with us, we made Joe Biden jokes. I feel really good about letting you just walk on that transfer because you did everything right. You came in with your tracking number, with a good attitude, cash money in pocket. You spent some extra dough on some other stuff. You're the kind of customer that I want to see coming in 5 days a week, 3 or 4 times an hour. I want your business. I'm going to waive the transfer fee. I'm going to waive the transfer fee, and because you have cash, I'm going to discount those boxes of ammo for you slightly. I can't not charge you sales tax, but I can discount them enough to where the sales tax is basically taken off of it. I'm going to eat that for you because you're a good customer, and I want good customers. In a Joe Biden economy, I have to have good customers because they're becoming far and few between. I need that guy as a business owner. I need that guy or that woman that will come in and make spontaneous purchases because they know it helps the shop. And I'm going to reciprocate that as the shop owner, not me per se. I'm being metaphorical over here. But a lot of shops, unless the shop owner is just a prick, they're going to see that. Maybe not the first time, maybe not the second time. But if you do that enough times, they're going to start noticing that, and you're going to start getting perks for being their customer. A good business owner, a good FFL owner will recognize the person that comes in that doesn't haggle them on prices and just pays, and they pay in cash, and they do it every time, and they don't complain about anything. Maybe every once in a while, like, oh man, could you do any better on that? But if you're a good business owner, they won't have to do that. They'll bring their item up to the counter and you'll say, oh man, you've been a good customer. Yeah, I mean, you've spent a lot of money in here. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and knock $100 off of that, and I'm going to pay your sales tax for you because, I'm still going to make $35, $40 off of this deal, but I want you to leave here feeling really good about being my customer. Just some tips, guys. Sitting in a gun shop every day, I see what goes on. I see the people that come in. I see how they interact with myself and the owner. I see how the owner interacts with the customers. The 5 little tips that I've given you here today: making friends, buying extra, paying in cash, providing your own tracking number, and having a good attitude. Those 5 tips will increase your enjoyment levels at your FFL exponentially. They're going to want to be your friend because they need people like you coming in and doing what you just did. That's what makes the world go round in an FFL. So just my little 2 cents worth of advice. You folks do with it what you want to do with it. I'm just a crazy redneck from Brown County, Ohio. What the hell do I know? Except that if you haven't clicked on my gun deals yet, how in the world can you possibly say that you support Therapy Range?
Be sure to live your lives to the fullest, guys, because anything less is an injustice to yourself and every single person around you. This is a one-take video. You gotta love that. Gotta love it. Stay free, America. If you...
It's time to shut up and shoot.
Hi, here we go. Mad Tech Industries, the official Cerakoter for Therapy Range.